Greetings once again, fellow book lovers. It's time for the latest edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where I present to you a book that I've read, reviewed, and recommend. And today's book is Hockey Hall of Fame, Timeline of the Game, 150 Years of Hockey Stories by Don Weeks. This is published by Firefly. It's $29.95 in Canada. I do not have a U.S. price, but I assume it's very close to the $29.95. And it is 224 pages long. Don Weeks is known for his hockey books. In fact, he's written over 30 hockey books, so this man really knows hockey. And in this book, he really gets to excel at what he loves best and knows best. It basically traces the whole history of hockey from 150 years ago. And supposedly it was associated with a game called Ricketts. And this was back in 1859. And there was another sport called hurley, which was very similar to hockey. And they used sticks that were made by the Micmac tribe. And it's really hard to describe because there are so many vintage photos here of the sport, of the past, and of teams who started way, way back in the 1850s, 1860s. Just for the vintage photographs alone, it's really worth the price of admission to the book. And the author tells us the progression of hockey. And in 1864, the Halifax Morning Sun basically said that hockey should be forbidden because, and I quote, because it annoyed leisurely skaters on the pond and was dangerous for them. And it also talks about the first indoor rinks and the first actual organized hockey game was in Kingston with Queen's University playing the Royal Military College, and they used what was called Montreal rules for the game. The book talks about some of the greats of the sport back in the 1920s, 30s, 40s. George Vezina, who the Vezina Trophy was named after. There are the Patrick brothers. There was Frank Calder for what the Calder Trophy was named after. And the book traces the war years too, and into the 50s when hockey was gaining in acceptance. And of course, it mentions Foster Hewitt, the voice of Hockey Night in Canada for so many decades. It talks about the expansion from 6 teams to 12 back between the season of 67 and 68. In fact, ironically, it was the last year Toronto Maple Leafs won the Cup. Then the following season, there were 12 teams. And it follows right up to present day because it talks about Ovechkin breaking Wayne Gretzky's goal record. So it's, like I said, for any serious hockey lover and for any casual hockey lover as well too, the book really, I don't think it leaves anything out. It talks about the Olympics, Russians against Canada back in 1972, women's hockey, which has really come into its own with the Women's Professional Hockey League. That is also mentioned here. So if you're like I said, a die-hard or a casual hockey fan, Hockey Hall of Fame Timeline of the Game is definitely a must-add book to your reading library. So if you do purchase it, please let me know if you do agree with my review. I kind of think you will because this book is one of a kind. So I do appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully it was informative for you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channels yet on YouTube or Facebook, please do so. I'll be back again very soon with another excellent book. And until that time, as I always say, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.